Welcome to Thought Crime and Keto Crime, where Tracy does the sleuthing so you don't have to.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Thought Crime and Keto and Crime. I'm here with some weird history for you. And what is our weird history? Something that will be weird history next year. The Murder Hornets. I'm sure you've heard about them. These are they are the largest hornets in the world. They originate in Asia. And they were first seen in the United States in 2019. They were first seen in the fall, around October, November in Washington State, and have since gone into hibernation. So now the fear is now they're going to be hatching out, and we're going to see a lot more of them. But what exactly are these murder hornets, and can they murder you? I think that's kind of, with everything that's been thrown at us in 2020, coming off a potential war situation with Iran, and then into COVID-19, and then lots of tornadoes and things like that in the southeast, and now we've got murder hornets. So I just thought maybe I can help allay your concern a little bit about these things, so you realize maybe it's not as deadly as being put out there by the media. I think a lot of it is just sensational headlines and stuff, but let's get into it. What is a murder hornet? Murder hornet, scientific name,
Vespa mandarinium.
You didn't think I was going to try to pronounce that, did you? There were actually 4 confirmed sightings of the murder hornets in the North America in 2019. 2 in the United States, 2 in Canada. All of them were nests that were destroyed. And so, but there is a fear that because, where there's one, there's more. So there's probably more, and they've been in hibernation, so now they're going to be hatching out. But these are the largest hornets in the world. The queens can be about the size of a large thumb. And why are they called murder hornets? Because they carry 7 times the venom of a honeybee. The British honeybee, or the honeybee here in the United States, is kind of our measure for, the venom and the poison that you get from a sting. So they have 7 times more venom than any other hornet or wasp, because they all come from the wasp family. And their stingers are also much bigger, and their sting is a whole lot more painful, which I'm going to insert a clip of that right. But
oh, this stinger's stuck in my arm. Oh! Ooh. Ah. Ah.
why do they call them murder hornets? Are they actually capable of murdering people? Is that their goal? No. Just like any other creature, their goal is survival. Their goal is to spread their seed around. Just like bees and wasps, there's a single queen. The queen is going to be the largest, just like in a colony of honeybees, with the workers or the drone being the ones attending her slightly smaller. Now, their goal, just like anyone else, is continuation of their species, not murdering humans. Because murdering humans does not fall within the lines of necessary for their survival in an evolutionary sense. So, they're not like the infamous killer bees that we were told about in the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. I never heard of even one death from killer bees. So, just like that, the stories of them amassing and killing humans is highly exaggerated. Even in Asia, where they're from, very few reports of humans dying. In fact, the people that do die are normally just allergic to, or stung by a couple, and are normally just allergic to the venom. The same here. If you have an allergy to a bee sting, you're a lot greater potential to die than somebody that isn't. So, that's 1. 2, they are not known to swarm up and attack humans. The reason they are called murder hornets, now they will if you stomp up on their colony and destroy it. Yeah, you're going to get attacked and possibly stung to death. It's possible. But just normal way of life, you're not going to get killed by these things. But what they do kill, what they do murder hornets, honeybees. And that's where our danger lies in. The honeybee is already nearing, if it's not already on the endangered species list, and we need honeybees, y'all. They're not just for honey. They do 90% of the pollination that takes place in the world. So if we lost the honeybee, we would be in danger of our ecological system going to crap, because we would either have to find a way to pollinate ourselves, such as pollen spraying or something of that nature, and I can only imagine my allergies if we had to do that. So I really hope that doesn't become. I would like to protect the honeybee. So therein lies the danger in these murder hornets. They are known to seek out and destroy entire hives and colonies of honeybees. And here is Mr. or Mrs. Murder Hornet. Their faces are uniquely the same. They have the same body structure, although the queen is usually the largest. They're the ones that can run about 2 inches, like a large thumb. The worker females are usually a tad smaller, and then they do also have drone males, which mate with the queen, and they normally have no stinger. So it's usually an all-out female war when a murder hornet attacks, either a colony attacks another murder hornet colony or a colony of honeybees. It's all out female survival of the fittest there. And here is a picture of one of those male drone bees. These are bees, they usually have no stinger. You'll see them out occasionally flying around, but not a whole lot. Usually their job is to simply mate with the queen within a honeybee hive. And here are the female worker bees. These are the ones that would normally defend the hive. They're the ones that have the stingers, though they also can only sting once, and when they pull away, they normally leave their abdomen and other internal organs there, so a bee will normally die after it stings once. Seems very definitely like an evolutionary fail, but oh well. And then you see the very large queen of the honeybee. And none of these would be safe from a murder hornet attack. They do this by simply ganging up on the honeybees and essentially ripping the heads off the honeybees, the ones that would defend the hive. They then take those heads, severed heads, this is science fiction stuff, severed heads back to their own young larvae and pupae babies, and they feed that. They turn that into a sludge and feed it to their babies. They've also been known to take over an entire colony, killing and eradicating all the drones, the queen, even the unborn baby bees, and turning those into a nutritious, think of it as a bee protein shake, and eating or feeding that to their babies and their queen. And then just taking over the hive, just ripping it down and rebuilding it in their own image and their own vision. That's what they're known for, and that's what they are evolutionary programmed to do. So therein lies the problem. So how do we deal with these murder hornets without wreaking, chaos on our ecological system by spraying them and trying to eradicate them, and also protect the honeybee, which is so vital to everyone's existence and survival? It's a fine line. Scientists and ecologists are working on this problem right now, but do you need to fear these murder hornets? Are they going to sting you to death? No, not unless you go up, and it's just like any hornet or wasp nest, dirt daubers, anything. You go up, you take a whack at it, you're going to get a swarm on you. Don't be doing that. These large wasps have probably been here since long before 2019. I've seen these very large red, I call them red wasps, most likely red hornets, for years. In fact, my mother-in-law calls them red bastards, and she's allergic, and their stings hurt. It hurts. You don't want to get involved in that. So we've got to find a way, but that we are working on a plan. Now, honeybees are not completely defenseless. They do have a technique called the orb, which I will find a clip of that. If they are attacked by these murder hornets or any other predator, the drones will join together in kind of a ball of death. They will literally surround a hornet and trap them in a ball of bees, and they will beat their little wings as fast as they can, raising that internal temperature in there far beyond what a wasp can survive, and then they will separate, and a fried wasp will drop out. It's amazing. I'm going to put a clip here.
Advanced guard of an attack force the bees could never withstand. But this time, the bees set a trap. They want the hornet inside. And the hornet obliges. The scout's main task is to mark the hive with the telltale pheromone so that her sisters can find it later. But the native honeybees know her game. By swinging their abdomens to and fro, they signal their strategy to one another. The bees hold off until the last possible moment. And then, as if of one mind, they swarm. The hornet is engulfed by hundreds of bees. But they don't sting the intruder. Instead, as revealed by thermal photography, they all begin to vibrate, gradually raising their collective temperature to 117 degrees Fahrenheit. Japanese honeybees can tolerate a temperature of 118 degrees. Their victim's upper limit is 115. The hornet scout is slowly roasted alive.
But honeybees are not defenseless, but if they are attacked by a large swarm, it can be bad, because you can imagine if it takes that many honeybees to kill one wasp, why they're kind of defenseless. But we are working on ways to defend the bees. In fact, the Smithsonian and some of the leading ecological societies say, is this going to be a extinction level event for honeybees? No. Yes, we're going to lose a few hives, but it's not going to be mass extinction for the honeybee. So as a lot of things we're seeing on the news, it's kind of blown out of proportion. So you don't need to fear this. You don't need to alter your lives. You just need to take the common sense approach of not hanging out or hanging around large swarms of insects with stingers. I mean, that's just a good practice. So this is just another thing. I just wanted to bring this out to let you know this will be weird history in a few months, a few years. So I thought I'd just get it while it was happening. Maybe bring you a little bit of information, a little bit of, a little bit of relief in these troubled times. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back soon. I've got my videos on the People's Temple starting this weekend. You will see those, potentially Saturday or Sunday. You'll see the first one. And it will be at least 2 to 3, possibly 4 parts. A lot of research has gone into this one. I think you're going to enjoy it. The reception to the Columbine videos has been wonderful. Thank you so much. I intend to do longer form videos in parts like this going forward, just so that I'm not putting out smaller videos more times a week. I'd rather give you one big story in a very concise, well-researched way. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed those. I will be back real soon. Please support the channel. Those links are below. I have a Patreon. I'll link it here. Any little bit helps, because as true crime, I'm heavily demonetized on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. So until next time, Keto Coffee.